can't count. I was in the Army.
Let's do an intro, man.
All
Let's
right.
do you,
I'll
brother.
let you take care of that one. You're more
Okay.
creative than I am.
All
I
right.
just kind of just slap things over top each other.
All
Good
right.
morning.
What's up, everybody? Y'all all right?
You got to
I'm
give.
multitasking right now.
He's doing the everything. I just got my tablet phone sitting here playing around with taxes. Mm.
Yep, I'm multitasking right now. So how y'all feeling right now while we wait on Brother Clack get done?
I'm kind of upset.
What you upset about? What's up?
So I just looked up the gas tax here in Michigan, right? It's 30 cents a gallon.
Mm-hmm.
Every gallon I buy of gas,
Mm-hmm.
I'm paying 30 cents. But then because I'm still getting campaign or like endorsement things from last election, they're like, "Oh, you running again?" No, but I'm still getting it. They're like, "Did you know Michigan wants to add a mileage tax on your car?" I'm like, "What? To replace the gas tax?" I'm like, "Well, how much is the gas tax?" They want to add 27 cents a mile to your
Wow.
state taxes when the average Michigander drives about 12,000 miles a year. Actually, let me hit that math
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
Uh,
So what y'all saying it's gonna get spooky?
it's already spooky since they're thinking about this.
Understandable.
Times 0.30. That's $3,600 a year in taxes just for your average amount of driving. Good God.
You know what? I'm just really waiting for election season and the campaign season to start. Hey, I mean, I'm talking about, yeah, I'm ready. I'm just so ready just to see the new ideas.
Yeah.
You did get some insight, brother, since I know this is y'all show, but I am going to be drilling you today. All right. On a couple of things.
I like it.
And then because I know Trevor, you got an insight on far as the Republican point of view of this situation.
Yeah.
I mean, well, give us some type of insight because I'm gonna ask you about the Trump charges.
I actually anticipated that.
Okay, I was gonna bring that up. But
where is it?
How do y'all feel about? I know y'all watched the press conference yesterday. The budget.
Oh,
being
yeah.
not passed.
Yeah, I watched that. I was in there.
Here we go.
I was watching that.
I don't. Well, here's the thing, and this is just me, and I think that we all are responsible individuals. We all have our downfalls, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna go to the meeting. Right. When I saw the game that was being played, as far as the calling of the question and not being allowed for discussion and like keeping the details or lack thereof away from the public. You know what I mean? I thought that was dirty.
Well, I mean, it's also dirty to pass an unbalanced budget 5 years in a row, 6 years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's going to end up paying for this? We are. They're looking, the water's going up, our city tax is going up, our assessment on our properties are going up. Hell, last Friday, I told you my current house here in Flint cost me $800 a year in taxes, whereas compared to the house I'm buying in Florida with 5 acres, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, all this blase with a private well is costing me $800 a year, or would cost me $800 a year. This makes no sense. And they're going to raise all that again to pay for their overspending. It's like giving a teenager some Adderall and a credit card. You know it's going upside down.
I mean, knowing that you had to deal with the school budget, I mean, you'd have been around some budget. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about when you hear just what Trevor just saying? This is another unbalanced budget.
Let's
not the first one, not the second one, not the third one.
Another
a fourth unbalanced budget. I mean,
that is just
that's past irresponsible. I mean, that's when you here's. I mean, I'll just put it in regular people terms.
Okay.
When you get ready to take a trip or go on vacation, you got to put money to the side, right?
Right.
And you know that this is the money that you have to operate with while you're gone.
Right.
That is your budget. You're not going to put money. You're not going to not put money to the side, or not. You're just going to not go down there just willy nilly just spending. You know what I mean? Because if you're going to end up not being able to get home,
Right.
you know what I mean. So you can't pass a budget that you can't look at and see and ask questions about. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Like, so my first marriage, me and my ex-wife shared a bank account with and it was a Wells Fargo account. And they allowed you to go negative up to 50% of your paycheck. I'm wondering if that's who the city of Flint is banking with. Like, who lets you go? I think we're talking about it.
Overdraft.
Yeah,
protection.
overdraft by like 30% of your yearly budget, over $20 million upside down.
Right.
What kind of bank allows you to do that? If we would be homeless if the three of us tried budgeting our homes like that. They aren't, looking at like normal people would do. All right, I pay my mortgage. I pay my mortgage or my home insurance, my car insurance, X, Y, and Z, my bills. They look at all the fun side projects that they each have a special place in their heart for.
Right.
Throw all the money at that, and then whatever is left over, that little trickle of money goes toward the services that we put our taxes into, that are supposed to sustain us as a community. Like, I happen to like roads that we can drive on.
Right.
I happen to like sidewalks that my kid can play on and not break her ankle. I happen to like drinkable water, kind of a human right there. I happen to like police that show up when we call them and help keep crime down just by their presence. They don't have to go busting everyone. They don't have to
Right.
go pulling everyone over. Just you seeing a cop on a corner, I know you're not going to pull a donut and swing out, going 100,
Right.
because those cause accidents. But all these departments, all these necessary services are so underfunded here that we don't get them. But we got some pretty ass parks. We got some dandelions and daffodils growing pretty. We got some willow trees hiding some blight.
Well, if you could even go one deeper. Oh, I just heard that Williams Elementary School was on fire
Again.
We went by there that one day, but I got a call, a call from a firefighter today. But look at how hard it is for us to get a new school built, but how easy it was for a new kiddie jail to be built on Pasadena. Twice the size of the old one. You know what I mean? Like, there is new stuff being built. It's just not for everyone's benefit.
Yeah, it's not for the actual folks of Flint.
Right.
Like, they're so dialed in on, arresting someone, X, Y, and Z, instead of trying to better their circumstance to where they don't have to break the law to pay their mortgage, to pay their car note, to, I don't know, eat. Because you have to travel out of town, granted it's just the township or into Burton or whatever, to go grocery shopping.
Right.
I mean, because no businesses are in a real rush to come and open here in Flint. Have you looked at the typical business insurance here in Flint?
No.
It's astronomical. Some businesses in some parts of town, like parts of the 4th Ward, the 6th Ward, the 5th Ward, obviously 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, are considered uninsurable by most business or by most insurance companies because of the blight, the crime that's rampant, because they refuse to do anything about it. They refuse to address it, but somehow crime's down according to our statistics.
But that's where I knock our media, as they call it, the mainstream media. I knock them. See, they just like with me covering at the press conference. They wouldn't have got the whole truth of it. Channel 12 wasn't going to put all that out.
No, the dude that does the magazine, he was going to lambast a lot of things. And he called it out like on live video where I think it was Mr. Jared said, I have to ask these questions and get these answers. You won't get it.
And just to keep it 100 with everybody, you know they got their 5 votes.
Of course.
Because why would she sit up there and say, this is Liddell, I'm speaking of the president? See, Jared said 2 key things that made sense to me. I ain't gonna say it made sense. It was just like, you the president of the city council, right? Of Flint City Council.
Mhm.
If you know he knew, why wouldn't you call and inform him that
She don't need
y'all
and
finna
or
do-
want his
finna
vote.
do this at 12 o'clock, Monday.
She don't need and
Yeah.
or want his
Why,
vote.
then, and when he telling you the math ain't math, then I can't push for this. Why would y'all still get up there? But I'm just saying, this was Liddell talking at this time.
Mhm.
Why would you get up there and sit up there trying to push a budget through that you don't even have the numbers? Just like with Judy and the CFO. Now we paying the CFO, I just found out, y'all, $150,000 a year.
You talking about
To be clueless?
What?
Mr. Rogers?
150.
Mr. Rogers gets paid $150K to be clueless.
That's
Shit,
what
I'll
I
be
heard.
stupid for you for 130.
And that's what I heard. He didn't even know. And then he go into the finance chair. And as I was on Tanya's show Saturday when she was sitting up there saying, like, look, the numbers not even matching up that Judy had. And then when Jared called that out, and it's like, you the finance chair. How the CFO say he gonna go with your numbers and your numbers is off and his numbers was off?
I mean, I can give a hint to both of those to how to get your numbers right. It's called Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel. It'll do the math for you. You can even put in the functions.
$150,000 to not, but I mean, then you go, but you know,
It's by design, though.
of course, because Clyde don't really ever have no answers either, and he get paid about that too, though. Yeah,
I still feel Clyde is getting shafted here. The man's got 6 jobs and he only gets paid $150K.
But when he come up there, let me get back to you.
I mean, true, saying, let me get back to you as your only job and getting paid $150K. That's a pretty sweet deal.
This is crazy.
Man, was it family, brothers, and in-laws deal?
Bingo.
Shit.
That's what Reverend Thrill Care call it, the FBI. Friends, brothers, and in-laws deal is what we seeing, because how can you have a CFO? And I'm not going with that no more. Are they making him look stupid? No, you're making yourself look stupid.
This is crazy.
Yeah,
they told him, relax. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to know nothing. Trust in our numbers, or if nothing else, trust in council's numbers. And you know what? $150K a year. Just make sure the check gets cut. That's all he has to do.
And we finna segue to the state rep.
Mm-hmm.
How can all this be going on? Where is the state rep doing down? Where is she fighting for the city of Flint at down in Lansing?
She ain't.
I don't know.
She's fighting for the city of Flint in her hair salon. That's it. She's fighting to get up out of bed and then trying to decide if she wants to go to her tax committee or not to charge us, like I was alluding to earlier. They want to replace the gas tax with mileage tax for how much you drive your car because they're trying to convert to EVs. She is on the committee that decides if you pay that extra $3,500 a year, folks.
Can you say it for the people in the back again, Trevor? Because, you know, somebody might have missed that.
Oh, she is on that committee, the tax committee, that's going to decide if you pay that $3,500 extra a year. Now,
wait.
Can Flint afford her as our representative?
Wait a minute. Doesn't she chair that tax committee?
Yes.
So she's not just on the committee.
No, she chairs it.
So she determined what goes on the agenda. She determined the, so it's not just she's on the committee. She is the
she set the agenda.
And
when things are scheduled, because after lunch some of them don't come back. So who's setting the agenda then? Do you honestly believe, and it's no shot to her, nothing, I'm just being honest. Do you think the state rep is setting the agenda for the
I truly believe state rep Sheldon Neely is setting the agenda.
There you go.
Cynthia. Sheldon.
Sheldon Neely is setting the agenda.
Sheldon is setting that agenda.
Yep, State Representative Mayor Sheldon Neely is setting that agenda.
Okay. Because I'm saying,
I mean, we cannot afford to have her in Lansing on our behalf anymore, because whatever he wants, and we know what he wants, the poor's out. Get rid of the poor's in Flint. we cannot afford that voice in Lansing anymore.
Because that's what I wanted to say. Not because it's going back to the school board. Why is she not in the fight with y'all to help get Flint with the school system? Why is she not down there in Lansing fighting to clear the debt?
I don't know. That for the life of me, I can't get it. I don't understand.
I mean,
That's
it took Pamela Pugh, cool, State Board of Education. Wouldn't it, because that brings credibility, wouldn't it bring even more credibility if the
If we
state
had-
rep was there?
Yeah, it would. But we also have great people, that's in the fight with us, like Elnora Gavin. She's
Right.
me and Dr. Padroni did
I'm
live
friends
with
with
her.
her on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she still is in the fight. She was one of the most pivotal, reasons why Benton Harbor got their debt relief.
Right.
So she still is, she's not just stopping with her own district.
Right.
She's helping everybody. So shout out to her. But
That's great.
But where's the state rep?
Where's the people of Flint? Where's the figureheads and the leaders of Flint in this fight?
not with us.
There's you.
Not with us. Yeah.
I'm just saying it's so many things that the state rep could be doing. I'm just trying to show where you seeing the lack. Just don't look at city council and the mayor.
Mhm.
Look at that state rep too.
It would be that much more, leverage if we had the state rep standing with us, saying this is what we need, along with Dr. Pugh saying this is what we need, along with the school board and Elnora and everybody else screaming at the top of the hill saying this is what we need. It would just be another great asset to the fight. But again, there is no.
And let's backtrack. I'm terrible with reference of time. A few weeks, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, when Melissa Mays was up there at City Council, saying that there is such and such and so much money available for if the city of Flint would just ask from the state. Why isn't our state rep up there advocating for that money to come to Flint to help with our infrastructure? We already just found out recently that we ran out of money to fix our pipes, and they're trying to save money by having the state come in to do the yards and the streets and the sidewalks that Flint couldn't get to. So we know that money's gone. Why isn't our state rep, who is the representative for the city that showed America can fail, that we can fail with our infrastructure, that we aren't omnipotent, that we aren't on top of shit? Where is the woman that is supposed to be representing us to help us get this fixed? Why isn't she there representing us?
Clack.
I guess.
You have to throw your curveball.
Bro, all I can say is, August 6th, y'all vote for me and I'll show you how to do it. That's
right.
That's all I can say. That's the best I can say. I can't answer for for her, just like I can't answer for, when y'all be like, why the board doing this? Like, man, all I can answer for why I voted this way, And again, go ahead.
No, but I'm just, but you would think she see you out there. She didn't see how, not just you, but she seen, why would you want to let Pam Pugh, and this is no dig to Pam, because I think she's an intelligent black woman. But
I think she's great.
Great. But Pam Pugh came here. Pam Pugh cared more about the getting Flint debt relief and the state rep. That's the point I'm trying to
make. No, that's a good point. And actually, Dr. Pugh called me, with it. Like, how would I feel if if we did this? And I said, well, that's I think that's
the state rep called
you.
No,
Dr.
Pam Pugh.
Cynthia Neely, state rep and called
you?
No.
Dude,
and
all right, let's take a look at the past few election cycles real quick. Let's take a look at history here. So when Neely left state rep to run for mayor, when Sheldon left state rep to be mayor, did Cynthia do any speaking engagements?
No.
Did she do any press engagements?
No.
Did she do any candidate forums or interviews?
No.
Okay, 2022. You have myself, Rich Jones, Dewan, and Mr. Thomas. We were running out like chickens with our heads cut off, going in front of any camera that would turn on for us, going in front of any crowd that would listen to us. You have an idiot like me running around talking more than her, making more points and more sense than her.
But remember,
and this time we haven't heard a damn thing from her. Why are we letting history repeat itself? What if you just don't show up, you get the job here? If you are the most incompetent in Flint, you get the most job, the job. We got a CFO that don't know shit, that don't do shit, hell, I'm surprised the man remembers where he's at. Then we got a state rep that can't figure out what time meetings are or how often she's supposed to be in Lansing. We got council members that can't figure out how to read Rule 26.2 or 26.4 or any variation therein of. And you're trying to tell me that they are the most qualified for these positions? That these are the people that are best to represent us?
No.
That's what the votes say. Historically, that's what the votes say here.
There's no argument here.
It just blows my fucking mind. Like,
there's no argument here.
We've been arguing and fighting for any sort of change here in Flint. And then when it comes down to actually pull the trigger and do the thing, we choose to do the exact opposite, do what we have been doing. Mm-hmm. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
That's exactly what it says.
I'm sorry.
All I can say is, as far as the state rep goes,
at least he'll show up.
At least I'll go to work. at least I'll go to work. But but being serious, a lot could be done just by having that person there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we
if
would
we
know
were
when funds are available for our state rep to advocate for, and to work with the state senator to advocate for. So we actually get proper funding to Flint with proper oversight.
Right.
Because the state just woke the hell up and realized Flint can't manage its own money and its own projects.
Well, they watch too. They can see what's going on. So they like, man, look, we didn't let y'all squander.
They just figured it out. And now they're stepping in. Mommy State is having to step in and hold baby Flint's hand through the process of, here's how you replace some pipes. Look, watch your brother Benton Harbor. They did it.
But it shouldn't even be that hard. Here's the thing. When we're supposed to be hiring the best people,
theoretically,
I mean, we're supposed to be hiring the best people. We're supposed to be electing the best candidates to have our best interest. And and every time they step onto that podium, or every time they step up there, to their meeting, they're supposed to be there with their residents on their mind, not themselves. You know what I mean? Like,
with facts and numbers and all the details they need to represent, which means going out and talking with residents.
Yes.
Understanding what is going on in our lives and where we need help.
Yes.
And understanding what we desire to happen with our state and our community.
Yes.
Rather than, I guess, listening to the talk in a hair salon.
Even deeper than that, watching us on a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, when you make more references to a social media, podcast, or, somebody's post, and then actually governing
and engaging with the actual residents. Like,
I don't get it. And, honestly, there should be packed house every time. And I'm just speaking of city council now.
Mm-hmm.
There should be a packed house. And I don't show up as often as I probably should, just because, of my position on the school board.
Well, I mean,
and I don't speak.
You and I are just two folks. Flint is a city of, I mean, the number keeps going down, but 76,000. Mm-hmm. So we get it. Not everyone can go every meeting, but there should be enough people wanting to go that 2 or 3 people not showing up is just 2 or 3 people not standing, because all there is standing room only.
We pretty much know everybody that attends these meetings by a first name basis.
Oh yeah. Kermit's one of my favorite people. I met him at city council.
Yeah. So it's not like, we got a whole bunch of, residents coming down, whether they be young or old, or, baby boomer, whatever. They don't show up. Now, that could be a number of different reasons. But my plan, if I am elected, is to have as many people as possible from Flint to to show up to Lansing. Now I know that's not gonna be an easy thing, but I'm just trying to figure out how can we do this. Like, I don't know. Pay Mickey to come down and record the session. You know what I mean? Or
Hey, Mickey, they won't throw you in the back neither.
No, there's a section up top that you know what I mean,
like good angle.
And I'm pretty sure
And
that you can have company because I know for a fact I used to be on the floor with my dad when I was a kid.
And they have decent speaker system in there, and it's a nice amphitheater, so you can actually hear. So Mickey, you're going to be like the star of the show, just being the press showing up.
So I that's how I'm trying to figure out ways. I would even consider, my dad used to do it, but by having the kids from the Flint schools come down on a field trip, and spend the day with them.
I mean, you know what you could do? Invite city council to the meeting so they can see how governance actually should work.
I wouldn't be opposed to doing that as well, but again, they're not going to go. They don't attend the trainings. I don't think all of them do.
But, I mean, it would be hilarious. No, it'd be embarrassing for you, for them to get in an argument up there, and everyone goes, "Well, who's that? That's Flint City Council." Yeah, I can see why.
I was gonna say I would be embarrassed, but I would I wouldn't be opposed to that happening because they would see exactly like this is now you see why I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, and then I don't know, man. It blows my mind because we've got Kildee retiring, and he wasn't the best for this community, in my opinion. I mean, he made a big, large, stinking show about the water crisis and about how the community is being screwed over, and then especially recently about how they're putting liens on houses, right? Mm-hmm. Huge stinking show. But where was he in the intervening years that led up to this? Okay, yeah, you're in DC, buddy. I got you. But you were so disconnected from Flint and the area that you didn't notice this was happening until it hit the news. Be around. And now it's such a wild card who we're going to get in his seat now. I mean, it could be someone worse. It could be someone better. It could be a Republican or a Democrat. But at the same time, it's all just a toss of the dice right now, especially with the way Flint votes.
I guess I should probably start getting to know whoever it is because so we can, start talking about we needing this money for the city.
Yeah. Because there's federal funds available as grants for cities across the country.
That's
grants.
I'm glad that you said
they don't pay back.
I'm glad that you said that because didn't I hear something about the city not applying for grants that are available or
yes,
for the infrastructure that they did
from Melissa? Yes, we're talking literally hundreds of millions of dollars that the state has for cities for infrastructure. It was the massive infrastructure bill that Michigan just passed that had so much pork in it, you could probably open up a barbecue shop.
So let me ask you this. If the massive infrastructure bill that the state just passed, wouldn't our state representative shouldn't have been somewhere saying Flint needs X amount of dollars?
This is the second time I've heard of this because 2020 election cycle, Flint was overlooked for an infrastructure bill because the rep wasn't there and Cherry had to pencil Flint in.
Is that the same thing this time when he got was that I think around that time was it 80 million for the a lot was the legacy cost and stuff like that.
Legacy cost pension fund.
Yeah, okay, I do remember something like that.
And then there was another one that he had to pencil in Flint for infrastructure, which without the state rep there, it didn't get as much because it's only our state senator. Our the state rep is supposed to put down how much we actually need.
Yeah.
And then the senator's supposed to try to get us as close to that number as possible.
Right.
So he just kind of ish. I don't know. Because he's got like 2 or 3 other cities in his jurisdiction.
Of course.
So like ish kind of, I don't know. Maybe I'll try to get you this. But it was a failure because it's supposed to be a partnership between the two houses.
Just like, again, folks, and I hate to say it like it's a game show, again, folks, but no, on a serious note though, like it's time to wake up. Like you see what's going on. Like, and if you don't see, that's even worse because you can't see nobody's telling you exactly what's going on. There's no transparency. You know,
Nah.
it's just a, you know, that's like I still for the life of me can't get over what happened at that city council meeting, man.
Oh, dude.
I can't get over the call for the question, and like I can't.
Here's the thing that really got me during the press conference, right?
And see, I missed the press conference, but go
Liddell
ahead.
was saying that the finance or the budget meeting was Monday at noon. That was the first Mr. Jarrett had heard about it. And he's saying, wait, what if I can't make it? I'm just hearing about it right now.
Right.
The words that came out of her mouth will know if the council people are dedicated if they show up. You did this behind closed doors. You did this behind a fucking curtain. You convorted with your other four, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7 to schedule that time. Make sure that everyone had time to call off ahead of time. And now if Tanya is working, if Jerry is working, if Dennis is working, if Mr. Jarrett is working, they aren't dedicated to the job apparently. How many times have we seen Eva Worthing's chair fucking empty? How many times have we seen Quincy just not show up? How many times have we seen Liddell not show up?
Why is there not? Because why isn't
So the
why
question
aren't the
then,
meetings being posted?
So the press conference was 24-hour notice, and then she used the press conference to announce the meeting on Monday. And it's being posted then. It's a very short notice, and they only have to post notice 24 hours prior.
Yeah, but don't you have to have well, I guess they got the certain amount of people they need. But that's crazy.
And the city council president can call a meeting whenever she and well pleases. She's the president. And then if people show, they show. Generally, it is expected. She tells Davina. Davina goes and posts it and then reaches out to each one of them individually via email to confirm.
Exactly.
But it was just announced on a Friday to be in there on a Monday at noon. That is very short notice. That is walk around a corner and get boo. Like shit.
I don't understand why these people don't think that law enforcement is real.
Because it isn't here. It isn't law enforcement. It isn't even code enforcement. It's council enforcement. How often do we actually see our cops do something? City council. Escorting people to and from city council. Escorting people out of city council. How many gunshots do we hear around our city? Hell, you and I live in the same ward right now. I know last night at about 2 o'clock, someone let off with a Glock switch behind my house. I know just north of me, 2 or 3 blocks up, there were people exchanging gunfire. I didn't hear no sirens. I didn't see no berries and cherries zipping around to get there. What, unless a body drops? Unless a body drops, then they show up after the fact, not to prevent it? Law enforcement don't exist in Flint. This is as close to the stereotypical movie horror anarchy as you can get without people busting in each other's doors for a can of corn. Hell, how many cars do we see roaming around here without a license plate? Because they can't afford registration. Yeah. Why? Because we can't afford it. Our water bill's too high. Hell, it's so high that it's so blessed high that they will put a lien on your house and take your house for not paying your water bill. Your house is worth your water bill. Or your taxes are equivalent to a place far bigger, far nicer for your property tax. Of course, you can't pay the yearly tax on your vehicle, especially if some of the vehicles around here, because we don't really have financial planning in our schools.
And then
I blame that one on the state.
And then they just announced about a week or two ago, a couple weeks ago, that they're going to start pulling people over more.
Yeah, for
enforce
reckless driving and then take your car.
Yeah, they're going to enforce, it is which is happening. It is. But I just don't get it. They're not pulling over the people that are out here riding around with ski masks on.
No. And I will give you all a heads up. Make sure you don't have any quantity of cash over $1,000 on you when the cop pulls you over. Ever.
They're gonna take it.
Civil forfeiture. Here's the fun thing. Majority of US currency has passed through at some point or around narcotics. So they put it in a baggie, they throw it to the side. If a drug enforcement canine goes to it, they don't charge you with the crime. They charge your cash with the crime. They keep the cash and put it into their own revenue storage. And you have to sue to get it back. And you won't get all of it back.
I don't carry cash.
Neither do I. But there are some people that do. Hey,
Yeah.
when elected as state rep, can you introduce into law to, I don't know, get rid of civil forfeiture for us? Because it isn't just cash, right? So a vehicle.
Yeah.
They catch you doing something wrong, they impound your vehicle, and then they keep it, sell it at auction. Okay, what if I just got in a fist fight and left my, I got arrested, so now my car got impounded because it was in a place for too long? Why are you now penalizing me with jail time, with a fine, and taking my car and selling it? Now I'm being punished 3 times, 3 different ways for one thing.
You're right.
What gives you the right to take my property? I mean, hell, let's take a look at this. You work your ass off. You get paid a paycheck. Out of that paycheck comes 3 different large taxes: your FICA tax, your Medicare tax, your state income tax. Okay, you go to spend that money. There's your sales tax. If it's a larger purchase, then it's a luxury tax as well, or even alcohol. You want to go buy a bottle of rum, you've got a luxury tax on the back end of that. Okay. Or say a car. Now there's going to be a mileage tax. There's already a gas tax. There's a yearly registration tax. How many times are you going to tax me on my fucking money? And then if I do something you don't like, you're going to take the thing that I bought with my money that's been taxed 100 times over that you just taxed for me to get, and then you're going to sell that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get anything back off of this. This feels like theft.
Well,
This feels like strong arm robbery.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like,
There seems like there's no relief for us.
no.
It seems like we just stuck.
I mean, when you ain't got nobody fighting for you, this is what, like, we were coming to the half and half nots. I think we, like, the way as you see the transition of America is like, either you gonna have it or you don't.
Yeah.
It ain't finna be no in between, like how we used to have a strong middle class.
Yeah, no, that's gone.
It's finna be either you have it or you don't, because it's crazy to hear about people in food lines. When my uncles tell me about the stuff during the Great Depression. What do you see right now?
People in food lines. I see people falling into just anything to make a buck so they can eat tonight.
So remember that trip that we went on to DC, the school board I'm referring to, that we went on to DC. Remember that?
Right.
And one of the reasons, I know a lot of people like, y'all just taking vacations, but no, this is the reason, one of the reasons why we went there, because the federal government is trying to cut funding for the breakfast and lunch programs. So we went there to advocate to raise the allocation. I think it was 50 cents for breakfast and $1.40 something for lunch or something like that. But that goes hand in hand with how they're trying to cut the food assistance program. By, was it 30% or $30 million or something like that? So, like, they're trying to cut the food assistance, like food stamp,
right,
to regular people. So not only that, they want to limit the amount of food that the kids get at school. So there's a lot of kids that go to school just to eat.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because they don't have it at home.
Right.
So, when we like, it's a lot that's going on here, and people aren't realizing that, they're electing people that's bringing them to their own, to their demise, because they out here, pocketing the money, sending the money overseas.
They're the chickens that are electing the fox to keep an eye on them.
And I think that's what happened to Flint over so many years, that when GM was here, that they were the the union was telling them who to vote for all those years. You know what I mean? Like people didn't have to go out and do the research because they would,
Right.
the union would tell them, well, we gonna back this person. You know what I mean? And y'all see the results of, you know, a lot of those people, you know, by looking at what happened, you know, what we going through right here in the city.
Right.
I mean,
So,
it's at this point well documented that not all unions have stayed to their pure cause.
Right.
mhm.
I mean,
Some have fallen to criminal activity, some have fallen to corruption,
Mhm.
and some have bounced back. So
I got a question for both of you.
yeah,
Why do y'all think the state had to jump in to come finish this for the city of Flint? 'Cause like you said, it's only just to fix the yards, right?
just the yards, the streets, and sidewalks. That's it. They're not doing the pipes.
We not doing the pipes either.
When you're right, you're right. So why did the state have to jump in? All right. This is not just a citywide embarrassment. Like I've told you several times, I talk to people around the world on a daily. I play video games with them all over the world. Some of them know my first and last name. I've had friends send me packages, right? They know where I live. And they know to get under my skin, they make fun of the water here.
Mhm.
So, in a way, yes, it is embarrassing to be from Flint because we've had this problem for over 10 years. And our city, while it has received close to $1 billion fucking dollars, has not gotten rid of the problem. Okay. So national is embarrassment. Statewide is an embarrassment. The rest of the state, we can make fun of New Jersey all day long for being the armpit of America, for being the garbage dump of New York. But you know what they're going to retort with? At least they have clean water. It is. So Michigan was catching a black eye for that too. They finally said, look, you are so far behind. You are getting held in contempt and fined day after day after day because these are daily fines.
So that's the point I'm saying. Is the state what you just said, the argument you making, is the state just coming in to get this to say, hold up, because the rest of the nation is seeing this
Yes.
eyesore as
Well,
you know,
that
this Flint
and it is
fatigue.
hurting Flint, or it. Well, yeah, it is hurting Flint, but it is hurting Michigan with federal funds. So when it comes to Congress, and we have, say, Kildee, the other congressman from Michigan, as well as our senators
Right.
in Congress, and they lobby for money to come to Michigan. Other representatives and senators look at them and say, "How much money did we send to Flint?" And it's still not fixed. How can we trust you with anything? Look at Detroit. Look at this. They're trying to, check a box off the list to get rid of that negative connotation so they can start trying to get money back into Michigan.
Yeah, saying Ben Harbor did this, but Flint.
Yeah,
Everybody
Benton
else-
Harbor, 1 year, Flint, 10 years. What is wrong with Michigan? Why can you folks not get it together?
Ann Arbor, no years. They heard about Flint and they just said, you know, let's just go ahead and
Let's get ahead of this
let's
problem.
go ahead and, you know, get ahead of ours real quick before we have to make our residents suffer. And, you know, Lansing, they fix theirs, you know. So it's like it's just
Yeah.
incompetent people that we elect.
Right.
But I was just sitting here thinking, remember when, you know, that when Mayor Dr. Weaver was running and against Mayor Neely, and when he won, all of a sudden there was this listening device in his office, and remember that it was $20 million that was missing. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that funness.
No, $20 million was missing.
No
listening device. Remember that?
Mhm.
But now we got people that's stealing right up under our nose. Like people was tripping, like, man, and didn't have any proof. Man, she stole $20 million. Like, where she put
But
it?
then all of a sudden, these 501c3s pop up, and they're getting instant payouts,
Right.
and they're not doing anything for our communities. Oh, it's for
Right.
blight. Okay, what are you doing to earn this $25,000 that you were given for blight? Oh, we're walking up and down the street with a trash bag.
But don't forget that the mayor has a non-discretionary fund.
Yep.
With $75,000 that he can spend
daily.
So how much money do you really think has gone out that we don't know about?
Shit.
Oh, with this, with that voting block he got, they're not gonna question nothing. Just look at the $20,000 from the DDA. Not only do you the president She lied and said it was paid back. No
that
need
was
for-
months ago.
No,
She said
last
that.
year. No need
Yeah.
for an investigation. They
Mhm.
shut it down. Then she come because she wanted to throw people up under
She
the
said,
bus.
why don't we people that elect? We've already got people that do investigation. Why would we something like that? Didn't she say that?
Yeah.
Like, why would we do something, overstep our boundaries or something like that? And it's already been paid back. So
There's a reason they have the power of subpoena. It is so our city legislative branch can do their due diligence, and they can bring accountability to people who decide a
And-
government credit card is okay to get your nails done on.
And this the reason I want to segue. What I'm going to segue, I ask you that because of Trump.
Mhm.
And I'm only going to be fair. Now he got proved found guilty of paying off a porn star.
Yeah.
This really what it is.
I'm not going to say her name, but she is rather famous.
But I'm just saying. But
The guys in the army love
this
her.
what he got in trouble for, right?
34 times, right?
Yeah,
It was
34 felonies, right?
Let
For
me
paying
see.
off a porn star. This basically what it was, hush money.
Right.
What the fuck was that $20,000 that somebody got to just use? Wasn't that just splurging on somebody?
Yeah, that was
he
treating
spent
herself.
this of his own money, and he in trouble. And I'm not for Trump or nothing. I'm just saying he took 100 of his own money and paid hush money. This person took
the
20
city's money.
P-card and went on a fun spending trip. And allegedly, this is not gonna say nothing, but whoever it was spent on, it was somebody from here. It was like it was a fling or something. I'm just telling you what the street's saying. It's not what I'm saying. It's what we heard. It was put in the chat. That's the reason I'm bringing it up. Why is they went so quick to shut that down?
Dude, it strikes me like, all right, if it was a fling, if it wasn't a fling, whatever. Someone used it as a payday loan, right? So you go to a cash advance place, they charge you your paycheck and your next half a paycheck for like 2 weeks. Someone used the city funds as like a payday loan. Hey, I don't get paid for a few days. Here's this P card.
But
Get your nails done, get your hair done, go look pretty, right? Whatever. Or, someone doing it for themselves. And they don't have to pay it back?
On the city dime.
And they don't have to pay it back.
But here's my thing, though. Like, here's the thing. Okay, we get past the fact that the person, whoever it was, had the card, they stole the money, whether it be 35,000 or 20,000.
Right.
Either one is enough to be a felony.
Or like $200 is a
attorney
fucking
Kim
felony.
Brought up charges on whoever it was that spent the money. I don't care
that
about.
One's not on Kim. That one's on the actual district attorney prosecutor.
Why would that not be? That's the city. That wouldn't be on Attorney Kim?
No.
All right, my bad, Kim.
Now, what Kim can do instead of bringing up charges, how about you levy a lawsuit against the person who stole $20,000 of us residents' money? You lazy piece of.
But that's a felony, though.
Yeah, and you can still sue on the back end of a felony.
Why are they not opening an investigation?
There should be charges brought. Somebody
That's
should
blatant.
be walked out and see. Now this is the issue. When we have people that bring up frivolous charges on, and stack the deck on regular people.
Right.
But when there's people that we elect, they turn the other cheek and they do favors or they don't do anything at all.
I mean, you get pulled over by a cop who the city, you may be a person the city don't like, right? And you have your dashboard lights too dim. That's another charge right there. So speeding, now you don't have dashboard lights. Now you're driving recklessly. Oh, look, your tire's a little bit bald. So non-car maintenance, you just got 30 charges stacked up on you for nothing. But
the reason I'm saying
a felony charge with 20,000 or 35,000, however much that P card was, that's overlooked.
The reason I'm saying that because you see how these same people will be like, Trump ought to be in jail. He ought to be in jail, but yet
half of our city employees ought to be in jail.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the hypocrisy. Y'all focus on, you can see Trump wrong, but you can't see the wrong that's going on here.
Like, you're right. They hold it to a different standard. Oh, that's national. That has to be a bigger punishment. No, because Trump getting laid and paying someone out of his own bank account don't really affect me. Yeah, it's an embarrassment. I mean, cut it out, please. You're married. You have kids.
But I'm saying,
and you're fat and ugly, so stop it, right? But someone who is actively stealing from my wallet here, from my wallet, and we don't care. Oh no, it's fine. It's that Trump guy, bro.
But this is the big cover up, and then you just get them. You give them $500,000, 560,000 after you just found out somebody abused and they've been having losses since it's been in its conception.
But here's another thing:
And
if the
how many-
mayor is the chairperson of that organization,
Right?
why hasn't that person made a big deal about the 35,000? Like, who's stealing the money from my organization that I'm chairing? Why ain't that been brought up?
That's 100%. Like, you got to show, one, you're a strong leader. Two, that you hold interest for this organization, right? Because if I were on that board, if I were part of that organization, if you're not going to stand up for us when it was someone supposedly in the city that you run,
And by the way, this woman just got a new 6-figure job.
right? Like the city that you run, if I were a stakeholder, I'd vote you out of that chair position. You're not going to stand up and do the right thing for that organization.
And how do you get another job when you just was found
Ask Allie Herkenroder.
fucking up the P for spending money that had nothing to do with the city? Because ain't the P card is for city business. I guess get your spa, nails, buying stuff was for the city. That was
I guess you have to look pretty to do city work.
Well,
someone should tell Liddell.
There might be some type of clause in the contract. I don't know about wellness. I'm just throwing that out there because I think the superintendent has that in his contract.
I've seen that, but so that doesn't go up to $20,000.
No, it doesn't. It's like $400 a month or something like that.
But 20,000. How do you go spend? Where the places that she went that it was deep, where it said like, she went.
Did she sign the receipt?
Kind of upscale.
Yeah.
Did she sign the receipt? And like, because when I had a government travel card in the Army, every time I swiped that thing, and mind you, this was like for my POV driving from post to post, I had to swipe that government card for gas. And on the back, I had to put in how many miles I drove on that tank and gas, how much I expected this, or for food, what I ordered and how much and how often I'm going to use it. I had to turn in all those receipts, right? So when she did that, did she put on there like part of my job to look pretty?
But how do you give somebody at another over dentist, you gave them
over
half over
that'd be like Clack giving me the school board's fucking credit card.
And you fuck up, but we know you fucked up, but this is what we finna do. I'm finna give you another $500,000. Over $500,000.
Yeah, 560. So
you'll figure it out next time.
But here's the thing, though.
Like, they should hate each other.
I just, for the first time, we've been on a couple trips as far as the school district goes. Going, wherever. I just, for the first time, put in my paperwork to get reimbursed when we, the last trip we went on. And that
wasn't that Nolan's?
Yeah, and that was for the parking that we had to, because we left out of Detroit, so we had to leave. That like.
Oh, that's expensive parking.
Yeah, I don't even, I don't like to spend, I'm not going to build the district. We already, you know what I'm saying, going on a trip they're paying
and for the district's already upside down.
Right. So it's not, my thing is not to go ahead and add more of a bill, but then we got people that sue the district and people that's,
Dude, but it drives me crazy, right? Like the city and DDA should hate each other right now. So DDA should hate the city because a city employee got a hold of their credit card and dumped $20K, $30K, however much. The city should hate them because they couldn't keep a hold of their own, card property. They costing each other money here. Why are they working together? Here's another $500,000. What?
What about
what am I getting
people that got them tickets, them bogus tickets? Why can't they get some? They get their tickets wiped off? Because I'm like I got a couple of them and I ain't paying them because I ain't got that card no more. But you know what I'm saying? Like come on though.
It's a scam. To me, you would think it's a scam. Just how it's being ran, and then you can't. We can keep funding you because remember they got to come get the tax. They getting that ARPA money for they fuck up.
They're getting money from the general, from the ARPA. They're getting money.
Yeah, they get money, and you mean to tell me we can't do an investigation because would it lead to other misuse of P cards, or it's just?
I mean,
well, I got
of course
2 minutes.
It is a legit I don't see what that organization is doing for us. It feels like it is a money laundering scheme at this point. The city. All right, you're my friend. You're going to work for this DDA, whatever. You're going to do X, Y, and Z for them. But here's a P card. Take care of yourself. and it doesn't go on your salary.
You gotta be the
It is a money laundering scheme. $500,000, just what ARPA funds you say? Yeah.
560 some thousand.
Okay,
gotta
and
be-
then how much is going on the general? And then they decide they don't even have to show up to the budget hearing. They're that important when they're begging for money.
how I don't want to call this person dumb, but how dumb can you be for taking money and spending it on a card that can be traced? Like everything that you do can be traced and foiled.
It isn't dumb. And hear me out. Has she been charged?
Nope.
No,
Okay. Has she had to pay it back as far as we know?
Nope.
No. So it feels like getting caught had zero consequences, except for maybe one. She's got a 6-figure job now.
Yeah.
How is that dumb?
For standing strong. Oh, she told him, if I go down, y'all go down. Let's give her a job that's paying her $100,000 a year.
At this
To
point,
keep
how
her
can I say
quiet.
that's dumb?
And
It was the smartest move she could have made.
And we'll take care of the 20. We'll come with a cashier check where ain't nobody name on it, for we can trace it back to who paid for it. Yet she stay in Detroit, and they say the check came from a bank.
See, smartest choice she could have made was just using our money for her own benefit, because now she's got a six-figure job.
that stuff makes me mad.
It infuriates me. Like,
That stuff makes me mad.
our founding fathers of the country decided that a 2% tax was insufferable and decided to start a literal war over it.
Can you
And yet,
imagine now?
and yet we're paying like 60% of our income in taxes. And then of that income, we're seeing people go spend it on a P card for personal care.
Can you imagine what the founding fathers would be doing?
Oh
right
man,
now?
they'd be burning. There'd be cannons. There'd be grapes. There would be havoc to pay. Like, I can just imagine George Washington walking up to each one of us right now and slapping us in the face. How you let them do this to my country?
Yeah, they walking down the city council at the lecture. Thou art on that bullshit.
Right. We gotta
That's
end
a good
on
one.
that note right there.
That's a good
man.
one to let go on.
Yeah, we gotta end it. We'll
All
see.
right, man.
See y'all next win.